So with stress and then the discussion and then the discomfort, when it happens, what do you do to ensure that you're not stuck in that cycle? We have what we call coping strategies. Coping strategies are how we deal with these negative feelings, these uncomfortable feelings, stress and anxiety. So we have the positive and then the negative, like I said. So the negative coping strategies among the youth, one of the serious, or is it serious? It's common. It's substance abuse. The youth is more likely to drink, to use drugs as compared to the older generations. That is one form of negative coping strategies. Maybe you didn't do well in class. Instead of you to try to figure out why you didn't do well, maybe go the extra mile for tutorials or something, and you'll be like, no, I'm a failure. Then you go and drink to sleep better when you could do something else. Another coping strategy that's negative is avoidance and denial. You just pretend that whatever happened did not happen. You just move past it. You just walk ahead of it. You're like, oh, this did not happen. Self-harm. We have people who cut themselves. We have people who abuse themselves. Some form of sporting activities, which are normally positive things, people tend to use them as means of harming themselves, like aggressive sports, like maybe boxing or like swimming. Even though swimming is not aggressive, trying to drown yourself, it's all some form of self-harm. Then we have negative self-talk. So you are wallowing. You feel like a failure. So you're just going to keep on telling yourself, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. No one likes me. And you're just marinating in that negativity. And it's going to be part and parcel of you. Then we also have isolation. You go and run into the corner and stay there, oh, I don't need friends. I can do this by my own. I have my own mind. I can figure things out. Then we have procrastination. I didn't do well. I'll learn tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do this next week. And finally, we have overworking, which is still productive, but the only reason why you're overworking is because you don't want to deal with whatever stress that you are feeling. So if family is stressing you, you decide that you would close work at 10 p.m. when you're supposed to close at 6 p.m. You are hiding from the problem, you're overworking yourself, which is going to affect your physical health as well. So what are some of the positive coping strategies we can do? So we can do some emotion-focused coping strategies, which include the cognitive reframing, that's challenging our thoughts, we think. We could do meditation. We can do some forms of breathing exercises, like the normal breathing in, breathing out. There are some variations on that as well. We could do journaling. These are the emotional focused coping mechanisms that are positive, that are very easy to adapt. Then we have the problem focused coping. With problem focused coping, it's more about what can I do? What is the alternative solution for whatever thing is stressing me out? Then we have the meaning focused coping, trying to find the goodness in whatever it is that's stressing you out. Before we have the social coping, like talking to a friend or deciding to look for the help of a counselor or a therapist. So what are some stress management techniques we can use during our daily lives? So the first one is breathing exercises. So like I said, the normal breathe in, breathe out. We also have what we call box breathing. So box breathing, it's a kind of breathing where you breathe on counts. So you take in deep breath 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, then you breathe out 4 seconds. That's one form of deep breathing exercises that can help you manage stress. Then we have time management. You can keep a planner. Every phone has a calendar, so you can try to plan your day, your week in a way that you'll be easily able to follow. We have physical activity as well. Some form of activity or exercise that gets your blood pumping, that gets you moving. That way you're not always at one place and you're not always stuck with your thoughts. Healthy lifestyle habits. Hydration is very important. You need to drink plenty water. You have to sleep. No matter how stressful life gets, no matter the deadlines, you need at least 8 hours of sleep. So you'd have to figure out how best you can get that 8 hours. You have to try. He's laughing because it's hard, but if it means that if you close at 10, maybe 11, 10:30, you should be asleep. If you wake up at 5, yeah, how? What time do you close work? When you come home, doesn't mean that during the weekends you have to do all your cooking at once, that you don't waste time for cooking. You have to do your laundry, you have to pick out your clothes just to find a way for you to get that 8 hours. That's where the time management and the daily planning comes. And the relaxation techniques, like breathing is one. We have progressive muscle relaxation, which is another form of relaxation techniques. Then we have social support. Families, friends, they form as good social support for us to depend on. So what then becomes an issue or a barrier when it comes to stress and asking for help when you find that you are currently having challenges? So the biggest barrier is stigma. So stigma is the most significant barrier when it comes to mental health. Some cultures perceive mental health as a sign of weakness or failure. Like when you decide that I really think I need help, someone will be like, "Why are you mad?" or like, "Are you crazy?" or like, I have clients when they are coming. Because one misconception about Accra Psychiatric Hospital is because it's a psychiatric hospital, most people assume that the people coming there are experiencing psychosis. And that's not the case. Someone with stress, anxiety, depression, and someone who is even just struggling in school, someone who can't sleep. These are the different kinds of people that come to the hospital. So stigma is one of the biggest barriers because you are afraid to go for help because you are afraid of what people will label and call you. So because of that, you rather want to suffer and sit in silence than coming to seek treatment. So that is one of the barriers. So I would want to touch briefly on what therapy and what can be done during therapy. So when you are coming for therapy, you are basically coming to a very structured environment. Therapy is a very safe space. There is no such thing as, oh, when I'm done seeing this person, when the next person comes, I'll use your situation as case story. That's not what therapy is. It is very confidential. It is very safe. It is very open. It's created in a way that whatever it is that you are going through, resources will be made available for you. So when people come to therapy, some of the things they come to learn is emotional awareness. People think they are emotionally aware, but people think they are emotionally aware, but rather they are very not. Some people feel they may have empathy, but they are not quite empathetic. So they may say one or two things. They feel like, oh, I said this well, but then it doesn't come across as well. So emotional awareness is one thing people learn. Another thing is coping skills and which coping mechanism fits better for you. Healthier thinking patterns. Some types of cognitive distortions are just so reinforced from years and years and years of thinking that way that you just cannot do the work by yourself. So you may need extra help on learning some of these things. And communication tools are provided during therapy. And with therapy, there's a lot of teaching about resilience. You know, with the chronic stresses, you are living in that situation. Nothing much can be done about it. But when you learn how to be resilient, you learn how to better adapt in a way that the stresses do not affect you. During therapy, there's also a lot of grief processing. Someone lost their parents 10, 20 years ago, and the person is still struggling with it now. That type of grief is very unhealthy. So that's another thing that can be done during therapy. Some people need some confidence boosting. All these things can be done during therapy as well. So stress is a very common thing amongst the youth. It's common amongst everyone. And learning how to manage it's a lot. But with time and with practice and by identifying our triggers and our thoughts, it's something that we can move past and live without it really affecting us. Thank you. Am I done? Thank you very much. Wow.
All right. So thank you very much, Crystal. I heard her mention certain things. First of all, I heard don't avoid or don't deny. Right now, I'm going through a lot. The program is putting me on a lot of pressure. So I also heard that she said breathing. So I'll try and breathe. All right. So back from that, Bita. We have another one of our own, who is a very esteemed person in the profession, a lawyer, and also a counselor. Right. And I don't want to do much of the talking. I'm under pressure. So shall we invite Mrs. Evelyn Anyemi? A lot of things.
Because it is this way. That's perfect. Oh, thank you. Bring it out for me. So everybody can see. People are coming down. Otherwise, I'll just have to be moving. Yes, that's okay. Okay, so good evening to you all. Mhm. So I know most of you know me as a lawyer, but he gave a little, that's a secret I've been keeping, and then he gave it out. So for the past 2 years, I've been under training as a counselor. And as part of the work we do psychoeducation. So we go to hospitals, maybe schools, and one-on-one sessions with people. And some of the things we talk about include stress and its management. We sometimes talk about anxiety. We look at depression and everything pertaining. Madam has done a beautiful work giving you all the details. In fact, as I was sitting here, I was saying, oh, she's saying some of the things I wanted to say. Oh, what am I going to? Because they are interrelated. As a counselor, you are taught all these things. She has done something detailed more than I have done, but we are taking through all of these so that I'll be able to offer the needed help. So I'm just going to do a quick summary of the stress and its management and then take you through some practical exercises. She mentioned breathing exercise. I'll demonstrate it here for you to see. So let's look at stress as, we have people build and they have a wall. I like telling stories. A wall, and then they have a fence around it. Now, what does the fence do? When there's an intruder coming in, it goes off. That's how your body behaves. So the external things that threaten your body. So your body will start giving off signals, and it could be physical signals where you may be experiencing headaches, sometimes stomach aches. In fact, not all stomach aches are because of something you have eaten. If today, before I came here, as I led someone to give evidence before an investigative body, and there were supposed to be 3 of them. One didn't come because suddenly he developed a diarrhea. So you could see that fear, that panic, just appearing before people to answer questions. That alone puts a fear in him. So he couldn't come. So stress can do all of that, like Madam has said right now. Now, what you need to know is that life cannot be made stress-free. You cannot take away stress. Like you said, it's a normal, a natural, a biological part of our make. Things will stress you out. But what we can do is that we can be made stress ready. That's why I spoke about some of the exercises or management strategies that you can employ. So she has told you it affects what? Your physical, it can affect your cognitive, that's the mind, it can affect your emotions. There are people who get angry unnecessarily, not because of anything, but they are stressed out. Especially, you can see this in mothers, right? Yes, when the kids are stressing us, we can get angry. And then even the youth, you have exam coming up, you are stressed out. You are finished school, you have an interview coming up, you are stressed out, right? Even relationship issues, you are stressed out. Now, for the youth, there's one thing I like to add to what she said. The sciences tell us that, look, all the way up to, say, your mid-20s, you may think you are matured, but your brain is still developing. Okay? So the things that some of us will see or will go through and will not be stressed, the youth will be stressed out. Yeah, the first time you are dating, somebody is doing something, you don't even know how to control that emotion, then you are stressed out. It's not something you should be getting angry over, but you get angry over that, right? So those little things that will stress you out, they may not stress the adult out because I am laughing. It's adults now. You are now coming up. Yeah, so those things affect you. See, I told you have positive, you have the negative. A certain amount of stress is good. It puts you on your toes, right? You are coming to write an exam, the fear of it. But you see, because you don't want to fail, you are in a hurry, you will study towards it and then you'll go and do it and then you will pass. So that's just a sum of what the stress is. Now, my work here is to leave you with tools that you can use to manage stress today. Okay, most people come to us and they are like, oh, I am fine. I'm feeling fine, everything. But you see, because stress just doesn't affect just one part of your body, but the entire system. Sometimes you can reach stress on somebody. The moment they enter your office, you are seeing it from there. Now, my friends, I see some stress. So sometimes I take advantage and then I take them through some, counseling to assist them. So sometimes you say, I am fine, but you have stress written all over you. So like I said, just some, strategies to cope. Talking about the life changes, where you need to, and it's important because media. Some of you don't sleep. You don't sleep. In the night, instead of sleeping, you see them one-sided like this, hidden in their blankets, and then they are on their phone. Meanwhile, we have been told by the medical people that at least an hour before you sleep, right? An hour before you sleep, you shouldn't have any, those rays in your face because it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult for you to sleep. Okay? But we find that you people, you don't sleep. Some of you don't eat well. I've been a student before. I'll take Coke and I'll take spring rolls. Because I'm in a hurry to go and read. Somebody will just do Indomie and then they are gone. Meanwhile, you're exerting a lot of energy. Someone will buy just fried yam and pepper, but where is the energy? You are giving off a lot. You have loads of stuff to read, but where is the energy? You see, so some of you don't eat well, you don't sleep well. That is one of the things. Then again, for some of you, you find that, look, you don't manage your time well. You have an assignment, you have been given an assignment to submit within 3 days, and you wait till the last day. You are not trying to get, and in this day, an age of AI, I have seen it before because I tell you, I deal with students. You give them a small, they'll go and carry AI. They'll not even go back and review it. So you are so late on assignments, you are panicky, and then you just go and pick just anything and then submit. You won't get your scores, right? So you don't manage your time well. Instead of starting early, you wait till the last minute before. So you need to learn time management. And then boundaries. Look, it's not everywhere that you have to go. especially the boys. Charlie, this thing is happening here. We forgo. I don't know how you speak it, but Charlie, this thing is happening here. Can we go? Then the next minute you are jumping there. Meanwhile, you are in the school to study. Prioritize what you need to do. There are some things that are more important. So pay attention to the things that are important, and then those that are not important. Look, it's not even invitation I have to answer. You know, just be polite. Oh, unfortunately, I'll not be able to come. Thank you very much. It's okay. You don't have to jump around going everywhere. There are things that are more important to you. Don't pay attention to them. So make sure you manage your time well. Set boundaries as well. So the relaxation exercises, she spoke about breathing exercise. Please, I'd like to demonstrate. I'm going to pick a chair. Father, am I allowed to bring a chair here? Can I bring a chair here and demonstrate something? Okay. Okay, so for the breathing exercise, right? Say you have an exam coming up, okay? And you're all panicking, you're all stressed out. You know, people can have panic attacks and they can't even stand. Their legs will be wobbly. They can't even, just because of exam. They hold the pen and the pen is like this. You know, they can't write anything, right? So breathing exercise. You sit. Please, can you see me? This thing will see me though. So you sit with your legs on the ground, your hands on your laps, your back firmly rested. Sorry. Your back firmly rested. And then she told you for something, right? So you're going to take in a deep breath. Now, when you're taking in the breath, you count 4 seconds in your head. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then take in a deep breath. Load your tummy with air. After the 4th count, you hold it. You count 4 seconds again, right? Then after that 4 seconds, you start dropping the breath gradually. So I'm going to demonstrate. Please, you all do the same thing. So please, let's sit straight like this with our hands on our laps, like this. Yes, so we'll take in a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. So you hold it 4 seconds. Then you start dropping gradually and through your mouth. So you take the air through your nose and you breathe out through your mouth, right? Through your nose, breathe in, and then you breathe out through your mouth. So let's do it again. Please, when you're bringing the air out, you open your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Let's do the last one. Again. And please, it's not like this. It won't have any effect. Okay, so it's not. So gradually fall. Then when it's coming out, you know, when you take it in well, you feel like you have climbed a certain height because it's hanging. When you're bringing it down, it's like you're descending. You maybe feel a little, you know, dizzy, descending. Now, when you do that, what it does is that it calms your system, right? Your nerves, your nervous system, it calms it because when you're panicky, you know, the entire body, you may be sweating. But once you do that, it tells your body, I've already said stress is like what? An external threat coming in. It's like a thief coming to your house. Then your body says the alarm system starts going off. So your body is going off like the alarm. But when you do that, it calms it down and it tells you, look, this is not a threat. Relax, 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 relax. So you can do it as many times as you can. When you're going to write exam, before an interview, before a presentation, before a defense, you can do that and it will calm you down. Now let's look at the next one. The other tool that you can use is a grounding technique. Okay, we call it a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Now that one, there are people when they are panicky, they even forget about where they are. It's like they are not sure of their environment, right? Something is happening, they are panicky, they are not too, for a moment, it's as if they don't know even where they are. When you ask them even they may not even, yes, people can have that kind of panic attacks. That's because they are going to do something and that fear alone I'm going for a presentation. The panel is sitting there. The moment I get there, then my heart jumps. Then you start shaking. You know, there are people who behave that way. So if it happens to any one of you for any reason at all, there's a 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which is called grounding. Now, what it does is that it makes you conscious of your environment. It brings you back to where you are. Okay, I'm in class. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm safe. Where I am, it's okay. It doesn't take you away. So the first thing you do is you tell yourself, what are the 5 things that I can see, right? 5 things. You are telling yourself, not somebody telling you 5 things I can see. Oh, okay, I can see this man. Okay, he's wearing blue. That's 2. I can see this lady. She has a black watch. Okay, that's fine. I can see myself. At least I can. So 5 things. You identify 5 things that you can see around you. Then you move to 4 things you can touch. Oh, okay. So you are shaky. Okay, so yeah, I've been able to identify this is a chair. Okay, yeah, this is my skin. Somebody can feel their skin when they are like that. So yeah, this is my skin. Okay, this is a bottle. So you look out for things, but about 4 of them, you touch them. That brings you, back. Then you look at 3 things you can hear. I just say pee, 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 right? I can hear that. I can hear that. If somebody spoke right now, I could hear the fan. I can even hear the fan. That is also good. Then you look at the 2 things that you can smell. I can smell my own perfume as I'm here, right? Okay, maybe if somebody was burning, it smells like there's a bit of smoke in it. Okay, there's a little smoke I can smell. Or apart from my perfume, I can smell somebody else's perfume as well. Then the last one is the one thing you can taste, right? That's also very important. So, well, my mouth, I don't taste anything. I'm talking, so it tastes dry. I don't taste anything. But somebody, because they are not themselves, maybe it's like I'm tasting blood. It's like I'm right. But once you know that, of course, you have not eaten blood, you have not taken any sweet, or maybe the last thing you took was a gum or a sweet. Oh, I can still taste a bit of the chocolate there, right? So that also makes you conscious of your environment. If you are that panicky, okay. So I've given you 2 tools. The first one is the breathing exercise. Then the second one is the grounding. Now let's look at in terms of behavior activation, right? When you are stressed, it affects your behavior. Some people hide in their I want to be alone. I don't want anybody to come around me. Yes, there are people who do that. But she has told you connection is very important. Talking to somebody you trust, a friend, a mentor, a parent, anybody you trust, right? That is important. Then instead of isolating yourself, when you isolate yourself, you have all sorts of thoughts coming in because you are alone. A lot of things rush through your mind. So it's always not healthy that when you are in a certain situation, you should be hiding. You should rather come out and then talk to people. If it happens that way, you can also decide, look, when was the last time I watched a movie? Nice movie. I want to watch a movie. I know I used to like music, but now it looks like I'm too busy. Let me listen to music, right? You can do all those things and then you'll be fine. Now, let's look at the cognitive. She has told you that they affect your mind. She's spoken about all the intrusive thoughts, the negative thoughts that come in, right? So I want to give a typical example. Say you are going to write an exam and then you tell yourself, I will fail. I will fail. It's like you're so sure I will fail. Now, what reframing of this thought does is that it will use a certain evidence to counter that negative thought. So I will fail. Ask yourself, have I ever succeeded at anything? I will fail this exam. How many exams have you passed? They may be far more than what you are talking about. Maybe you have failed once, or maybe you wrote a course, you failed, you are going to write it again, and then you're afraid. A law school for assembly, and then you're going to it again. You are afraid. But the thing is, out of all the many exams you have written, count the ones that you have passed. Is it entirely true that you are failed? Haven't you prepared? So the evidence that you have to counter that one, right? The evidence that you have shows that, okay, I've succeeded in a number of things that I've done before. Yes. Oh, 5 minutes. And then my idea. Succeeded at a number of things before. You use that. Now, there's another one when it has to do with the cognitive reframing. Say, before you go for an interview, before you do a presentation, before you write an exam, You can tell yourself, you see, you're already feeling something, ish, this thing will I be. You tell yourself, I will prepare. It's all about the mind, working on the mind. So you tell yourself, I will prepare. And don't just say it, act it out, right? I will prepare and then start preparing. Now, once you are in the middle of it, maybe you have started the exam, and you told yourself, you are being, oh, I will prepare, I'll prepare. Then you actually stay, okay? Then you are starting the exam. You are right behind the paper. Then you tell yourself, no, I can handle this. Let's say you saw a question, you are there for or something, and you studied, but and the other areas that you didn't even pay attention to. So the moment you see the question, your heart jumps. You start shaking. I can't do this thing. I can't do this thing, right? You are in the middle. Meanwhile, you told yourself, I'll prepare, you prepared. Then you're in the middle, and now you are panicking. You tell yourself, well, I can handle this because I have prepared. I can handle this because I have prepared. Then let's say you get to a point where you say that happens. How many of you? A friend of mine left a whole line to write there because he forgot. Because of stress, he's writing exam. She forgot how to spell THE there and left a whole one line. She was yeah, but then you're saying, how do you spell that? How do you spell it? All of that is about the stress. You get it? Leaving the whole line. So when it gets to that point, you are writing, and you feel you get stuck, right? And then you start feeling too anxious. You tell yourself, stay calm, right? Stay calm and breathe. Stay calm and breathe. So you can just pause, stay calm, breathe, and then by the time you are done finally, look, you have done your best. Don't that answered well. Just tell yourself, I did well because you prepared, right? So I did well. So in terms of the mind, that is how you can counter it. So I've given you the tools. One, the breathing, to the grounding, and the mind. Now, because this is the church, for me, I think it's important to bring a little angle of the scripture here. Okay. I think most of the stresses we feel in life is because we want to do everything at the same time. And most of the time, we want to rely on our own strength and energy. But there are things you can't do. We want to be able to handle every little thing that happens in our life. In my training, I'm a something called circle of 10, right? And circle of control. There are some things that are within your control. You can handle it. But there are some things, no matter what you do, you can't handle it. It is beyond you, right? But what we do is that most of the time we feel we can do everything. And we want to rely on our own strength. Now, mind you, God himself taught us how to rest, though. It's part of us. God rested after what? Creating. Is that not it? Yes. But sometimes we do so many things and then we don't even rest. Then we bring all these things upon ourselves. So God himself rested. Jesus also rested. When the people were following him, the crowds, at a point said they were tired. They need to eat. They need to break. They stopped. Right? He had taught us. There were times that he also put himself in a corner and then pray. Okay? So he did all of that. And then when he was on the boat with the disciples, they were going across. What did he do? He slept. You won't sleep because you have something coming up. You stress yourself. He slept. So the one who created you has taught you some lifestyle, something that you need to follow. So it's important that we follow. So when you go to say Philippians, you're not supposed to be anxious, right? But it's the anxiety. Can I do it? I can't do it. She told you about social media. You are comparing yourself. You see all those people, your mates, your age group, in cars, in mansions, and you are threatened and you feel you need to live up to that. Then you put unnecessary stress on yourself. It's not necessary. It's not important. We all know the same, right? We all, our paths are not the same. Somebody once used a story of a river. You see, some of them, they can go all the way straight, but some will go corner, climb stone. That way. That's the way some people's lives are, right? So some will go straight, will have it all. Some were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some of us were not born that we have to struggle. Okay, so don't be anxious. Philippians 4:6-7, and then Psalm 46 verse 1. God is refuge and strength. Don't think you can do everything by yourself. So that if you are not able to do it, then you become panicky, you become anxious. Pray about it. God is your refuge and strength. And then renewal of mind. Positive affirmation. Sometimes the thing we do, mirror work, where you stand in front of the mirror as part of the, therapy or homework we give people. Stand in front of a mirror every day. She spoke about journal. Write one beautiful thing about yourself. I am smart. I'm able to organize. I'm able to do this. Right? You do all the renew your mind. I can't do this. No, I can do it. At least I can try. I'm able to do it. People have done it. They are not better than me. I can do those things. So I believe when we are able to do what this is will help us. Just know that stress is part of life, but don't allow it to control you. That's why we have given you the management, skills here. So I am always available. I'm part of you. If anybody wants to come because of any issues, I will welcome you. So thank you very much. Yep.
Sorry. All right. Saint Margaret Mary. Saint Margaret Mary. Hey, are you both stressed? You are looking at me. Anyway, um, I believe that what has been shared to us so far has been helpful. I sat with us as we were breathing in, learning that technique. It was really helpful. I got to that peak he was talking about. And I was like, hey, I can also reach there. Yeah, but it's just been an amazing, journey so far. Without wasting much time, I want to invite our speaker. Is Abrefi. Abrefi is come to take us for the last round. Let's give it up for her. Let's just give it up for her. By the time you leave here, your stress will go out. The breathing, the lecture, oh, it will leave.
Hi, good evening. Please, my name is Mami Abriki Asante. I'm a fourth year medical student at the University of Ghana. And I'm just here to talk to you about I'm here to talk to you about the anatomy and physiology of stress. I'm going to do my best. I'm not a pro, I'm not a consultant. I'm just going to tell you a little like so I'm just going to do my best. So when we say stress, what is stress? Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. So something that could be stressful to you would probably be light work for somebody. So it could be school work, it could be maybe having to meet a deadline at work, it could be maybe what to wear to a party, and in that moment you're supposed to choose. Then you realize that the outfit you plan in your head is not coming out as you thought. In that moment, you probably have like 5 minutes. You have to work it out. It's a stressful situation. Thinking about your future would be stressful. All of that is stress. And like I said, different things are stressful to different people. So this combination of reactions to stress is known as the fight or flight response, right? Your body has this survival mechanism that has been put in place by God to enable you to overcome life situations. But unfortunately, in situations that are stressful, your body responds the same. So maybe in a case where you are in a position where you could die, right? The way your body would respond, if you're in a stressful situation, your body could respond the same way. And that's why you would feel like you're sweating, your heart is beating fast, you are breathing fast, your head is hurting. your vision will probably change. Your thoughts are not straight. All of those things can happen when you are straight, right? So it's about physiology. I'm not really going to go deep, but we can all understand. So we have the nervous system. We all know the nervous system. We all heard about the nervous system of our body. Yes. So the nervous system, we have one that's called the autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is in charge of involuntary actions like breathing, your heart beats. Like you're not aware of it, you're not actively controlling it. Your heart is beating, you're not telling your brain, oh, make my heart beat. Like it's doing it on its own. You are breathing. You're not actively saying I should breathe. Maybe you can actually tell yourself to breathe. So breathing can be voluntary, it can be involuntary. But for the most part of your day, for the most part of your life, it's involuntary. Breathing, your blood vessels, whether they are constricting, whether they are dilating, it's all the autonomic nervous system. Now, for the autonomic nervous system, we have the sympathetic and we have the parasympathetic. So the sympathetic part is it's in charge of the fight or flight. So when you're in stressful situations, and then we have the parasympathetic, which is in charge of rest and digest. So sympathetic, think of activity like you are doing something, like you're on the go. And then parasympathetic, you're just calm, you're chilling, you're doing nothing, basically. Yes. So what happens when you're in a stressful situation is that there's a part of your brain, right? It's called the amygdala. Yes. So our sensory organs, the senses, like everything on your environment, and it sends signals to your amygdala. Now your amygdala will pick that up, and there's a part of the brain also called the hypothalamus, and that's a very very important part of your brain. It's like the control center. It controls lots of hormones, a lot of organs, and tells what your organs what to do, produce hormones, all of that. So when you're in a stressful situation, sensory organs, sensory parts of your body will pick it up, send it to the amygdala. Your amygdala will send signals to your hypothalamus, and then your hypothalamus will tell you to produce hormones. So what hormones are produced? I know you've all heard of adrenaline. We all know what adrenaline is. You've heard about it before, probably watching a movie or something. Adrenaline is right, probably in a song. I'm sure you've all heard this. So when this happens, your hypothalamus will tell your adrenals to produce adrenaline. So adrenaline, yes. And what adrenaline does is it tells your heart to beat faster. So your heart starts to beat. And when your heart starts to beat, your pulse goes up. So you are going, the normal pulse rate is 1600 beats per minute. So you're thinking anything about 100, 100 and 105, your heart is beating fast. You start breathing faster. You are breathing faster because adrenaline is also adrenaline is telling your body to breathe. You get it. You're breathing faster. Your heart is beating faster. Your blood vessels are constricting. All of that is going on. The small sacs in your lungs, the alveoli, they are expanding to get more air because you're in a stressful situation. Yes, so all that happens, right? So now, in the end, this is supposed to go on for a very short time. But then, if the stressful situation continues to go on, then the stress hormone comes in. That's cortisol. So cortisol is also produced by the adrenals. Yes, but then what cortisol does is keeps your body very alert, right? It increases blood sugar. So when your blood sugar goes up, you are getting more energy. So it alters your brain's function, and your brain is to control mood, all of that. So you experience a lot of mood swings, motivation, a lot of things will be happening. So that's just the little part about the anatomy and physiology. I hope I've been able to get you guys to understand some things more. I tried my best. Please, have you guys understood something more? Okay, so now how do you know there are some red flags? So first, we're going to talk about your mood. So you notice some changes. You probably realize that maybe you're a very bubbly person, or maybe you are calm, you're quiet, but you realize that you're getting angry more easy. Like someone tells you something and like you're just quick to snap at the person. Like that is a red flag. Maybe there's something going on in your life. Maybe you're being stressed to that. Maybe the people around you do that. Then it's time to look deeper. Maybe you are stressed out. There's something that is bothering you and you need to look at that. Or maybe, like I said, you're a bubbly person and all of a sudden your mood is low. Like nothing really makes you as happy as it used to be. Maybe your favorite shows, your favorite songs, your favorite football club, like you are not as happy as you used to be. That's also something that you're supposed to look at. Your interests are no longer making you as, excited as you used to be. That's also a red flag. You become extremely sensitive, like little things get into you, things that are not supposed to bother you. Like something little happens and you're thinking about it, overthinking. All of those things are red flags. Sometimes you're quick to dismiss them, but then they all point to something deeper. And you always have to pick them up early. Mental health is a very, very important thing that we tend to overlook. But then at the end of the day, health is more than just the physical. It's physical, mental, spiritual. It's everything. It's a state of complete well-being. And the body cannot stand alone. Like the parts are working in unison. So everything has to come together as one so that the human being can function. Yes. Now your behavior as well. You tend to see that you pulled away. Maybe you have a group of friends. They are doing something, but you realize that you've pulled away, you've shunned them, like you no longer feel like going out to them as you used to. Like things like that don't excite you anymore. In class, maybe you realize that your performance is declining. You're staying on it, but still, or maybe you're not even able to study as much as you used to because something is bothering you, stress. You get it. Anything that stress you out. So it's up to you to and see what is going on in your life and then like just try and do something about it. Also realize that you use other things to escape from reality. Maybe now instead of focusing on real life problems, there's this video game that like you're always playing. You're always playing. You use it to escape from reality. You're trying to escape from what is actually happening. You look at that. Maybe taking to certain behaviors. Maybe drowning yourself in alcohol. You get it. Maybe smoking, like all those things. You notice all of that. Maybe this isn't you, but you realize that, hey, now I'm doing this. Take it up quick. Now, your physical, their physical sense as well. You start to complain of pain. Like you've never had headaches before, but now you're having headaches. Any small thing, half of your head is hurting. Maybe your head, maybe your eyes, all these things. Maybe your tummy. Some people, when they are stressed, it's their tummy. When I'm stressed, it's my tummy. If I have an exam to write, it's my tummy. So you have to know yourself and then see what bothers you and what to do about it as well. Now let's come to sleep. Maybe you're someone who sleeps 8 hours at night, but then you realize that now you go to bed. Let's say you go to bed at 8, 2 a.m. You're up. You're not sleeping as much as you used to. All these things, or maybe you're someone who just needs a little sleep, maybe 5 hours. But then you realize that now you're sleeping 9 hours. You're not able to get yourself out of bed. All these things point out into stress, and you have to be quick to notice all of them. Now your appetite can also change. Maybe you really like food, you enjoy certain food, you enjoy eating a lot, or maybe your normal appetite now you don't feel like eating a lot. Any small food that enters your mouth, then you're satisfied. Early satiety, all these things. Or maybe now you're getting ill frequently. Any small thing, you're not feeling well. I'm under the weather today. This, that, this. All these things are all parts. Now you realize that maybe you become more forgetful. Someone tells you something, and the next moment you've forgotten. You try to remember, or now everything in your memory seems to be mixed up. You're unable to pick up this, you're unable to pick up that, and everything seems like a mess in your head. You have brain fog. Now you have to make a decision. You're struggling to make a decision. It's so simple. Maybe there are two things in front of you and you're supposed to pick one. But then in the moment, you can't even think straight. All of these things point to stress. And these are the red flags that we should be able to look at and then pick. Now, I'm going on to the chronic effects of stress. When stress goes on for a long time, what effects does it have on your body? Now, we've all heard of hypertension before. Hypertension is high blood pressure. So if you're someone that allows yourself to be stressed out continuously for long periods, you may not see it now, but then in the near future, you'd realize you go to the hospital, normal vitals are being checked. Then the nurse tells you, oh, your pressure is high. How often do you check your pressure? You don't even check. You don't know. They check. You go and come. They tell you that please be monitoring it. Please be checking. Go to the pharmacy, those things. And you realize that you have high blood pressure. It could be due to stress. You understand? Also, there's a disease state that we call atherosclerosis. It can predispose you to heart attacks, a lot of other very terrible diseases, right? Stress can lead to that. leading to the buildup of fat inside your blood vessels, and it narrows the lumen, that's the space inside your blood vessels. If anything happens and then there's a plaque that forms and it ruptures, you can get a heart attack. Yes, all of that is part of the chronic effects of stress. So you have to be able to pick it up and speak to someone if you are not feeling fine. Because now mental health has become something that is so open. It's not like back then that if you say that there's something wrong with you, like you're not feeling so well up there, like people would shun you and all that. Now it's something that has been spoken about, that there's no stigma of mental health. Most of us have friends, most of us have people to talk to. Even if you don't have someone to talk to, the church is over here. We are a family. You get someone to speak to. I don't think anybody in the church will push you away, because that's what the church is for. Exactly. Now, if you continue to have long periods of stress, it can lead to weight gain. You can get obesity. We all know what obesity is, right? You can get weight gain. And obesity is a very, very bad disease, because once you have obesity, when we study in school, we realize that almost every disease has obesity as a risk factor. So if you continue to be stressed out, you realize that it can affect you directly and indirectly, because it can lead to direct weight gain through some other processes, mechanisms. That's another thing on its own. And it can also do that indirectly. Like if you are stressed and you're someone who always exercises, you realize that, oh, you've stopped exercising as much as you used to, you stop going to the gym as much as you used to, and you start to gain weight. And it can also lead to blood sugar spikes. I mentioned cortisol, the stress hormone, which increases blood sugar. And if this continues to go on, your blood sugar will continue to increase. Your cells become resistant to insulin. They're not picking up glucose. And now you're in a state of hyperglycemia and can lead to diabetes, type 2 diabetes. You get it? Yes. Now your immune system can also be affected. We have immune cells. They are in charge of fighting any foreign body that enters your body, right? Exactly. So if you are stressed, it can affect your immune system. It lowers its strength, and then you get frequent illnesses. So you realize that you're getting sick is easy. Once you are getting a common cold, any small, you are getting an infection. You are going to the pharmacy, you are going to the hospital. It will be stress. Stress can do all of that, right? Yes, and it can also cause digestive distress. You realize that maybe you are eating and you're getting indigestion, you're getting bloated, you're not passing stool as much as you used to. All of this can be because of stress. So you realize that stress can affect any and every part of your body. Lastly, stress can affect your brain as well. It can give you anxiety because you are stressed, like something is bothering you. So your mind, you're always going to be in a state of worry. You're just there and you remember that this is the situation you're in. You know, reason that so please remember that you always have people to speak to. After listening to this, please let's not take mental health and stress something that is so simple and not important, because it's very important, because the body is more than just the physical. There's mental, there's spiritual, the physical as well. So please keep your mind healthy, and your body will be healthy, and your spirits will also be healthy. Thank you very much.
So I'm coming to prophesy. The time you leave here, none of you with hypertension. You people are safe from type 2. Is it type 2 diabetes? Thank you. I learned to share. You think I'm sitting here? Yeah. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone here for taking the time to come and learn something about stress, learn about how to go about it, how to manage it, right? It's been very insightful. I think I learned from Mrs. Anyenini Esquire that first of all, something that struck me was she brought the Bible in context, right? Where she says, first of all, you must know what the scripture is saying. It says in Philippians 4, verse 6 to 7. Charlie, share, me, I'm good. Share. You know, it's there. Yeah, but I mean, words of affirmation from the scripture, I feel like it's very spiritual. It doesn't just help you physically or mentally, it's also spiritual. So I think that we should also take that into consideration. And then something that's run through hers and Arefi's was speak to someone. You have friends, you have colleagues that you can speak to, you know, and all that. And please, eat. Eat. Some of us don't like it. I don't like sleeping early. I'm guilty. But please, sleep and eat. It's very important. So at this juncture, I would invite questions. If you have any question at all for them, any question at all, okay, 3 questions max. So, yes, sir.
All right. So my question goes to the Memphis. Briefly. Okay, that's fine. So I read something about the mandala, and the mandala. Is that right? All right. So I've read something about it that the sense organ signal it. And normally, it releases hormones that have to do with fear. And but then I've read that you can also train it. Can you enlighten us on that? That pardon? Yes, that part of the brain that it can the rate at which it would trigger fear. Like you can, it can reduce. I don't know how true that is, but I just want you to enlighten us on it.
Hmm.
Okay, so like I said before, I'm not a consultant. I'm not a neurologist, right? Yes, but from what I know, you can actually train your brain to do a lot. So that is actually not far-fetched at all. It's so possible because the people that train themselves to have a high pain tolerance, the people that train themselves to not be scared when they see stuff. So it's very possible to train yourself to not be scared of certain things, probably through multiple exposure. Probably it could be through many ways. I think it's very possible, and I haven't read much on that. Like I said, I'm not a neurologist, but it's very possible. So yeah.
Please, has she satisfied your question? Yeah, okay. She can do more. I believe in it. Anyway, yeah, please, questions. Oh, anything you want clarity on? Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Akosia. I'm Abiri's sister. And to add on to what you said, right, I was reading about a study, a neurology study, if I'm not wrong, and she was trying to basically combine neurology and their relationship with Christ. She was talking about how certain people are addicted to certain things, and when you are trying to stop it, it can be a bit of a problem. It can be a bit of a hurdle. But in this case, what I've come to understand is our brain is wired to go against what we say. Like if you're telling your brain to not to do something, that is when it wants to do that thing. Like if you are nervous, usually when we are going for interviews, when we are going to speak in large crowds and things like that, you are nervous, right? So you're telling your brain, don't be nervous. So that is when the nerves are even increasing. That is when your fingers become cold. That is when your feet become cold. You feel your tummy rumbling and things like you can feel your heart dropping into your stomach, right? But like Auntie Evelyn was saying, you tell yourself, I've prepared for this. So you see the opposite of what you want your brain to actually do. I've prepared for this. I'm ready for this. So why are you scared? You're about to do it. You'll be able to do it. It's not something that is too big for you. After all, you're a child of God. What should you be afraid of, right? I also wanted to add on to the fact that since we are talking about mental health, as we are saying, we should speak to people. If you are in need of something, if you think something is wrong, speak to someone. I think we should also check up on our friends. We should check up on our families. Check up on your loved one. If you have someone that is close to you, once in a while, reach out. Be your brother's keeper. Reach out and then ask the person, I hope everything is okay. I hope you are fine. It is the little things that count. At the end of the day, if someone is not feeling well, maybe they will not be confident to come out and speak out about it. But when you reach out to the person, it may prompt the person in the slightest way to just say, "Oh, I'm going through a little something. I know it's I don't want to bother you about it." But once you've reached out to the person, you've spoken to the person, and you've just checking up on the person alone says a lot. It counts far more than you can think about it. So that's a little I wanted to add, that we should be our brother's keepers. That's it. Thank you so much.
Oh, we can do it for her. Thank you so much. Please, more questions. Or me, I should ask my questions. You have like 1,000 questions. Too. You have one. Just one. I should ask one. Oh, okay. Okay, so mine is a bit on the spiritual. I'm assuming that I'm coming here or I'm hearing about stress for the first time, and I'm hearing that it is related to God, right? I think from what I heard, what I'm taking home is that stress is something that you can conquer, but it will continue to happen. It will continue to come about, or it will continue to happen. If I'm able to conquer it, if I'm able to overcome it this time around, and it comes again another time, have I really overcome it? Yes, please.
If you remember, I started by saying that life cannot be made stress free, but you can be made stress ready. So the idea is not to get rid of stress. As long as you're on this earth, there are things that will stress you out. We have told you some are healthy, some are not, right? So you have something coming up, you're anxious about it, it puts you on your toes. Or say you want to achieve something, right? So you set timelines for yourself. You want to meet those timelines. It won't come that easy. You go through a bit. Nothing good comes easy. So you go through a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a stress, but you still achieve it at the end of the day. So the idea is not that you will deal with it completely, right? It will come, but you have learned, you have equipped yourself. It's like this virus thing. Then sometimes they expose you to a little bit of it. Then you build a certain defense around it. So anytime it comes, you are able to manage it. So the idea is to help you manage, not to get rid of it. And when I use scripture, what I meant was that, look, God himself understands that we get tired because he himself, after creating the world, used the 7th day to rest, right? When he says we should keep the Sabbath day, sometimes I look at it as, you have worked through the whole week. At least devote one day, stay off every work and rest. So he himself created you, understands rest. So I'm sure it is to avoid all these stresses or to help you manage it. That is why I brought you those examples, so that you can help yourself manage it properly. Not that you can completely get rid of it, right? And there are some lifestyle changes. Once you work on those ones, you will not bring in all those stresses that are not necessary for yourself. Yes. I hope I've answered you. Great.
All right, thank you. Uh, Yeah, some people want to beat me. Anyway, so I'll close us. I would invite our youth chaplain, Father Camilo Sikun, to give us the closing prayer. Father.
God is good and all the time, and that is His nature. So thank you for my dear speakers. Emotion aspects, physical aspects, but also spiritual aspects, right? One day, with the youth in Indonesia in one parish, I make a research how to solve your stress. And one thing I encourage them is to forgive. To forgive someone who hates you. Forgive someone who hates you. Forgive your parents, forgive your friends, even forgive yourself. And, and also relaxation. What do with the relaxation? That is a meditation, contemplation. That is part of how we solve or healing ourselves. I hope you agree with me. So actually I wanted to all of us to light the candle that even in the darkness we still shine our lights. Like Mary, we surrender our stress, our struggles to God. So now I invite you in the silence of our hearts, of our minds, we surrender our burdens, we surrender our stress to God. Don't rely on your strength, but surrender all to God. I surrender all. I surrender all to God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for being with us during this program. We ask you to continue with us, protect us, and bless us, especially as we manage our stress. We believe that you will heal us, you will protect us, and we ask Mary to intercede for us. Amen. May the darkness of sin have a good night.
Yeah. Please. this program big 1,000, but a new chapter in saying that we have our youth march Friday. So please tell a friend that I'm waiting the mass. With programs like this, me stressing on praise God. So please let's come.